Welcome back to Night Parade Behind the Beads 2 on MOR-TV. From Ybor City, here's JP Peterson.
And welcome back to the Night Parade. You know, MOR-TV is pleased to welcome back one of their big celebrities, and that's Steve Wilkos. Now, Steve took part in the parade a couple of years ago, but he's back again this year, and he wants to make a huge impact on the Tampa Bay community.
I see y'all every day.
Yeah.
I never thought I would meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And that impact included a Friday visit to the VA hospital in Tampa. Steve is a retired Marine and always likes to spend time chatting with the soldiers.
No, probably at the same time my dad. My dad was a paratrooper in Korea.
Korea?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. But you got to have this one because this has got like a really good-looking guy on it. See? Army?
Yep.
When were you in?
1977 to 1983.
Oh, okay. So our service overlapped a little bit.
And earlier today, we caught up with Steve at the Central Ybor pre-party for WMOR as he visited with some of the fans. Steve, your third time here. What do you expect this evening? You're a veteran now, so you've seen what this is all about.
Well, I mean, it's usually the same thing every year. People in really party atmosphere and having a great time, and I'm amazed at how many people do turn out for this. Great crowd, so I'm expecting the same.
You do a lot of these type of events, but this seems a little bit different with the costumes, the floats, the night atmosphere.
Yeah, the only thing that I ever really did just like this was Mardi Gras in New Orleans, and that was 20-some years ago with Jerry. So this is neat to do because it's a little more on a smaller scale and it doesn't wear you out as much. And it's a lot of fun, and it's just a smaller version of the big Mardi Gras event, so it's really nice.
And you got a chance to really interact with folks. I know last night here at Ybor City and during the parade as well. I mean, these are your people. Is it fun to interact with them?
Well, it's nice to interact because it seems like everybody likes the show, and everybody's very nice to me, so it's always nice to get out and have people say, you know, how much they appreciate the show, so it's always nice.
World War II? Yeah, you're a retired Marine, and you got a chance to go to the VA as well and visit with some of the guys there in the hospital. What was that experience like?
You know what? I always have a close sense of unity with fellow veterans. I think if you served in this country, you'll always have that connection with other veterans, and it's nice to go. You know, when you're in a VA hospital, you're obviously down on your luck health-wise. How you doing?
You know, I know even when I was in the hospital
or some kind of procedure, it's always nice to have a visitor and somebody to come and say hi to you and spend a little time with you. So it's always nice to do that.
Do you get some of the stories from the guys and just really get that perspective of what heroes they are? And so sometimes I don't think people understand some of the sacrifices they've made. Can you?
But that's just the whole thing. Unless you do it, it's really hard to understand. You don't realize, not only when, like we're at the VA hospital, these guys have suffered injuries and need medical attention, but just the fact of serving in the military when you have to leave your family behind and maybe not see your family for a year or even longer, the sacrifices that you give, maybe that you get called up to active duty and you're leaving a lucrative career to, serve at, make a lot less money, but you're serving your country. So there's so many different sacrifices people don't even think about that the men and women in our country, when they serve, what they're giving up.
When you come to events like this and you interact with the folks, do you sometimes think of the bigger perspective of yourself and your journey and your story, being a Chicago cop and now literally a worldwide celebrity? I mean, how cool is it to think of that?
You know, to be honest, I say it all the time. I really enjoy my life. I really do, and I'm very fortunate. But I was just as happy being a cop. I mean, I loved being a police officer. I loved getting the bad guy. I always felt a sense of accomplishment when I helped somebody out. So I was very content being a police officer. My dad's down here. He's retired, and he was a police officer for 30 years, and that was going to be my life. But I certainly appreciate the opportunity I've gotten because it doesn't come along very often for many people. But I also feel good that with my show, I'm still able to do the same good I did as a policeman on my stage. Well, with my show, people are like, keep doing what you're doing, and I'm really proud of what you... So when you get those kind of compliments from doing the show that we set out to do, it's very gratifying.
And coming up later in the show, we'll have some highlights from the Steve Wilkos Show as seen here on MOR-TV every weekday at 2 and 3 p.m. Okay, let's toss it down to Haley and see if she's caught up with the MOR float, who has my favorite Family Guy character, Stewie.
All right, guys, I found him. Here's Steve Wilkos. Steve, how are you having a good time tonight?
I'm having a great time.
What brings you back here for your second parade now, right?
Well, first of all, Tampa's always been good to me. I love coming to Tampa. It's great to get out in the winter in New York. And this, I mean, how can you not have fun doing this?
What is your all-time favorite part about this night parade?
This right here, like seeing the fans, and it's awesome. So
Will we see you next year?
every time they invite me, I'm here. So
Thanks, Steve. Have a good night.
thank you.
When we come back, more from Night Parade Behind the Beats 2, right here on MOR.